Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video, and today I'm taking a look at the 1996 TV movie as requested by one of my friends at college who said that he wanted me to review this, so I'm mainly reviewing it for him, so I'm hoping he's watching and I hope he comments what he thinks of this film. Also, it's also referred to as the TV pilot by Paul McGann, seeing as he did it as a TV pilot, and basically the story goes that if it was successful, it would have been commissioned for a season, and him and Eric Roberts would have continued doing it and stuff. Because the story was that him and we would find out that actually the Doctor and the Master are brothers, and that they would be searching together to find their father, which I hate the idea of that. It's not, Doctor Who isn't Jeremy Kyle in space, so stop. Please just stop, Universal and BBC Worldwide or Fox or whomever as well. Yeah, whoever else had their grubby little mitts on this one. But yeah, on the front cover you've got you've got Paul McGann here, you've got Eric Roberts, and you've got Paul McGann there, and the TARDIS, the 1996 TV movie logo there. Also the sort of John Pertwee-like style of the logo. You've got 12 there, starring Paul McGann as the Doctor. Paul McGann there. You've got Paul McGann again on the spine, the movie, 12, Doctor Who, and then on the back you've got a row of screenshots, synopsis and special features and legal garbage, and then in the inside you've got the disc, which is just a silver disc, and the writer's notes. So what did I think of the 1996 TV movie? It's okay. I think on its own, purely as a story, I think it's a 5 out of 10. What makes it better for me personally is Paul McGann, and that just proves that casting is very key. And I think what drags it down is definitely Eric Roberts as the Master. I honestly feel like, personally, he is the worst Master we've ever had. I mean, some of the scenes that he has are just are just so cringeworthy, and he just diminishes when he is there with Paul McGann playing alongside with him, and that you need this sort of the Doctor Master chemistry needs to work, like with Roger Delgado and John Pertwee, or David Tennant and John Sim. It works with those two pairings, but here it just doesn't, and I think it's such a shame, because whenever you see Eric Roberts, for me at least, whenever I saw Eric Roberts with Paul McGann, it just dragged Paul McGann's performance down, you know. Because he was sort of reacting to something that was worse than what it could have been. You know, there are things like "open the eye," you know, or "we are in an ambulance," you know, "send me the Asian child," you know, just so many cringy, weird, stupid things that he says, you know. And I mean, I'd definitely describe this as a stepping stone towards the new series, but in a bad way. What I mean by that is, like, it shows that, yeah, with all the flashy technology and the CG, or the better camera works, the better music, yeah, that's all well and good, but if you don't have heart and substance, then it's still weaker than an older story. For example, you know, Earthshock and Pyramids of Mars and stuff like the Sea Devils, and, you know, and just other stories definitely far exceed this, even though their sort of music or camera work or CG/special effects aren't as up to date as this, you know. This is definitely, you know, going from Sylvester McCoy's era to this, there's a massive leap forward in production values, but as I've just said, you know, there's not that much heart and substance to it, you know. It's mainly got two story threads, one for non-Doctor Who fans who may have just randomly tuned into this, which is the love story, which personally as a Doctor Who fan offends me, and I hate it, because that pretty much was the first sort of Doctor companion lovey-doveyness, which made, you know, opened the gateway for it to be acceptable in the modern series, which I hate, because I hate that in the modern series, and I love the fact that the classic series doesn't do that hanky-panky sort of soapy, soppy garbage. And what was the other thing? The other thing is, the other story thread is the Master versus, or yeah, the Master versus the Doctor sort of thing, which again would be better if they'd cast someone better than Eric Roberts, personally. Paul McGann is phenomenal in this. He just hits the right notes all the time, you know. When he's being eccentric, he's not too over the top. When he's being serious and more sort of formidable against the Master, he's not too serious, as that sometimes can take people out of the immersion, you know. I love the TARDIS interior. It is absolutely gorgeous. It fits the sort of Eighth Doctor and that Edwardian costume he steals from the hospital. You know, that TARDIS is just gorgeous and immaculate. And yeah, that is one of the perks of having a bigger budget. But as I've just said, you know, one of the major downsides is that for me and other fans, we just feel like this didn't have that much substance or that much heart and soul to it either. The music is phenomenal in this. I love the music from this TV, movie, special, whatever you want to call it. You know, the music is phenomenal. Again, some of the camera shots and some of the camera works are superb. You know, like some of the camera works from the Doctor's perspective, I love that. You know, seeing things from the Doctor's perspective is something that's never really been done before. You know, I definitely think McGann is definitely an archetype for the future Doctors, you know, because again, he is a lot more romantic. He's a lot more, again, yeah, passionate in that respect and stuff, and he's a lot more open to that. And I guess as a character, you could say maybe it's because he's half human on his mother's side, but I really hate that line, and I disregard that line, as I love the Doctor for being alien, and that's the element that I like, personally. I just hate that line. I hate it. I hate, yeah, the oh, he's half human on his mother's side, or the Doctor's, yeah, got bits of human and all that, and it's just, it's cringeworthy and it annoys me. What else is good? Daphne Ashbrook as Grace Holloway is phenomenal. You know, she really brings this sort of more human side to the companion, you know, and for once, she's really the first companion that I feel like is very human and also challenges the Doctor, you know, like the Doctor's saying, but I'm a Time Lord, I've got two hearts, I've done this and I've done that, and she's just like, shut up, stop treating me like a child, you know. And I think up until this point, I don't think that had ever really been done with the companion, you know. No real companion had ever sort of stood up to the Doctor, aside from Sarah Jane Smith and maybe occasionally Ace or Leela, really, but to the same extent as Grace Holloway. And I really like her character. She really works well with Paul McGann, you know, Daphne Ashbrook. Again, I just don't like that kiss scene. I really don't like it. What else was I going to say? Another thing that kind of lets this down and stuff for me is the character of Chang Lee. Now, I like him at the beginning of the film because he can play a sort of street gangster kind of character well, and he can play the good guy very well, you know, right at the end he's sort of being nice and he's good and stuff, and I like him then. But I hate the fact that he's just used as the Master's henchman, because personally I see that character as a character that has a lot more, you know, a lot more going for him than just being the Master's right-hand man, you know. And also there's that cringeworthy scene with the Master, again, another one, where he's like, I always dress for the occasion, you know. It's just, I hate Eric Roberts' Master, and he drags this down. I think if they'd cast someone else, it could have been better. The plot is very basic, but it works. Again, it just feels very meh, you know, purely on plot, both, as I say, the love story and the Master Doctor duo, or like fight, even, I meant to say. I mean, it's not even that original, you know, the Eye of Harmony thing, you know, they do the same sort of thing in Deadly Assassin. The only difference is that it's like the Eye of Harmony on Gallifrey, whereas this is obviously the Doctor's personal Eye of Harmony in his TARDIS. You know, and again, the Eye of Harmony, the design of that is superb, and it works, and it opens like an eye, which I thought was pretty cool, and I love that. And yeah, it's just, yeah, some of the other stuff, you know, the jism snake, the jizz snake thing, that just looks really cringy, you know, now it's really dated and stuff, that, I really don't like that, you know. it's just, I don't know, there are pros and cons to this. I know some people really hate this story and some people like love it a lot, but for me, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. And those 2 points, again, if Paul McGann wasn't the Doctor in this one, I'd have given it a 5. But because of Paul McGann and how superb Paul McGann is in this, it's definitely a 7 out of 10, you know, and that's saying something, you know. He just instills this sort of Doctor-like presence, you know. He's babbling on about, you know, Pacini and that, and, you know, I was there and and stuff, and, you know, these shoes, what about these shoes? They're so fantastic, you know, they're just fit. And then he's just, you know, running around, and it doesn't feel too over the top again, and that, and it just works. But yeah, a 7 out of 10 for me. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe.